3 years ago, I got a chance to drive and review a 2017 Shelby GT350. My friend Mike invited me to review his personal Shelby GT350, and I was totally blown away by his car. I've never seen a Mustang so track focused from the factory like this one. Also one that sounded totally amazing and unique, like no Mustang has ever sounded before. This is all thanks to a flat plane crankshaft that allowed this motor to rev all the way to 8,250 RPMs. This Mustang looked exotic and felt special, like you're driving something extra cool, and no matter where you go, chances are that you're still driving the coolest car in traffic. Talking about driving, this is my reaction the very first time that I experienced the red line of this car.
I'll bleep that out. Beep, beep. Oh my God.
In that moment, I told myself that if I ever was going to buy an S550 Mustang, it had to be a Shelby GT350.
Once you're up there, I've never experienced a V8 revving past 7,000 RPMs. And it's one of those things that I honestly want one. Like, I want one of these cars now.
Well, fast forward 3 years later, and I ended up owning a brand new 2023 Mach 1. So why and how did this happen? Well, that's the question that I'm going to answer in this video. You heard that. The Shelby GT350 is an amazing vehicle. One that looks incredible, sounds amazing, and feels like no other Mustang has ever felt before, or honestly, after. So, knowing all of this, why in the world did I ended up with a 2023 Mustang Mach 1 and not the mighty Shelby? Is there something wrong with me? Alright, maybe there is, so let's find out. What if I told you that a Mach 1 with the handling package is actually faster in a racetrack than a 2016 Shelby GT350R? Does that sound crazy? Yeah, maybe it does. It sounded crazy to me the first time that I found out about it. Well, it turns out that Car and Driver, every single year, they go to Virginia International Raceway, where they test out the handling of all the brand new performance cars.
Welcome to the ultimate performance car test. Since 2006, Car and Driver has brought the year's hottest cars to one of the most challenging racetracks in the United States, Virginia International Raceway. With a mix of ultra high-speed straights and tight hairpin corners, the 4.1 miles and 24 turns that make the Grand Course are the closest you'll get to the Nürburgring without a passport.
So it's the closest that you ever gonna get to the Nürburgring without actually going to a Nürburgring. This track is 4.1 miles, 24 turns, and it really explores all the weakness of all the cars in terms of handling and all that. And when they tested the 2021 Mach 1 with the handling pack, it was actually faster than the 2016 Shelby GT350R, not the regular
Now we
version.
reach what we suspect many of you have come to see, the real track cars. Strangely, the Mustang Mach 1 was a bit of an oddball this year. The only other coupes with manual transmissions here were the Subaru and Toyota Twins. There were more SUVs. The times, they are a-changin'. Fortunately, the Mustang is only getting better and better, and that's why we're happy it showed up. The Mach 1 is a summary of the best of the 6th generation Mustang. Suspension and transmission parts from the GT350R, a V8 from the Bullitt, aero from the GT500, and so on. It might be the perfect combo. Leading up to the climbing S's, the Mach 1 is down 3.4 miles an hour to the GT350R, but the aerodynamic and chassis bits from the Shelby keep the Mach 1 pressed into the tarmac, allowing liberal use of the gas pedal. By the end of the S's, the Mach 1 is only a tenth of a second behind its more powerful predecessor. The resulting 2-minute 51.4 second lap is not only 4/10 of a second quicker than the GT350R, but that time is good enough to make the Mach 1 the new king of LL2, or the $35,000 to $65,000 class. No other car has gone quicker here for less money.
The 350R is actually 200 pounds lighter than the Mach 1. So let this sink in for a second, right? The 350R, it's 200 pounds lighter than the Mach 1, and also it has 46 more horsepower. Yet it wasn't as fast in the racetrack as a handling package Mach 1. So that just speaks volumes about this car. And what happened here is that the four engineers took all the learnings from the Shelby GT350 program, the performance pack, the Bullitt, and eventually the Shelby GT500, and put it all together into this package and created an amazing car to drive, and a car that handles like it's honestly on rails. It is truly, truly mind-blowing. All right, so another reason why I persuade myself into getting the Mach 1 over the Shelby GT350 was, and this one is mostly famous by now, almost everyone that has seriously considered or even been remotely a fan of the Shelby GT350 knows about this issue, and this will be oil consumption, burning oil, and vibration issues from that crankshaft, famous flat plane crankshaft. These issues mainly, apply to the Gen 1 Voodoo engines. The Gen 1 Voodoo will be any Shelby from 2015 through 2018. Gen 2 will be 2019 and 2020. So the Gen 1 Voodoo, a lot of people have those motors and they haven't had a single issue, but there's a lot of people, I personally know 2 people that one of them have to get their motor replaced, and then the second one wasn't as lucky, and because of those vibration, its oil filter came undone while he was driving the car, and he had a crazy accident, and he's honestly lucky just to be alive. So Gen 1 Voodoo, you pretty much, it's a toss-up. You don't know if those motors are going to be good. And those motors, let me tell you something. If you want to buy a brand new Shelby GT350 motor, you're talking about $30,000. If your motor goes, it's $30,000. I don't want to spend $30,000 on a $60,000 Shelby that I just bought, and that turns into a $100,000 car for no reason. All right, so knowing that the GT350, the first generation of the GT350, is prone to having those oil consumption issues, the one that you want to get, honestly, is that Gen 2 Voodoo, just because of peace of mind, also all the updates that they did. So because of that, there's a big premium. There's a big premium. There's a big premium for the 350 for the 350R. I'm sorry, I can't even speak here. I'm having too much blast. I'm having too much fun going around this twisties with this car. Oh my God, so much fun. Let me compose myself. That sound, man. This thing got torque for days. And grip too. Wow, 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 wow. So knowing that the Shelby, the first gen, it's prone to having those issues, everyone wants to go and buy the Gen 2 Voodoo. That will be the 2019 and 2020 Shelby GT350. Because of that, there's a big, huge premium for the 19 and the 20 Shelby GT350. So, due to those reasons, you know, finding one at a reasonable price is truly a challenge. And you know, if you want to buy one with, you know, 5,000, 10,000 miles, a 2019 or 20, a Gen 2 Voodoo, it's gonna run you $70,000, $75,000. I've even seen non-arts going for around $80,000, which is truly a crazy premium. So this is gonna bring me to my next point. My next point is buying new versus buying used. I've always personally wanted to buy a brand new Mustang. And it's not because I need a brand new car. No one needs a brand new car, all right? But let's face it, guys, these cars, you know, a lot of young kids buy Mustangs. This is being known as a fact. So when you buy used, you potentially buying a car that has been gone through some abuse. And don't get me wrong, these cars are built to endure abuse. That's why they're, you know, a sports car. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to, you know, burnouts. Even though I don't do burnouts.
Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop.
And that's a risk that, you know, you take when you buy a used Ford Mustang. So I always wanted, you know, to have a brand new Mustang, one that I could just put in my garage and just know, look, this car has not been through an accident. The abuse that it has is being by me and only by me, and I know exactly what I've done to this car. So that was always a thought. And buying a used Shelby, sure, you know, if you buy low mileage, most likely you're gonna get a decent car. But given the fact that buying a new Shelby was never an option, because when I went to the market, it's 2023, they don't make GT350s ever since 2020 was the last year, so 2020. So what they make now is the Mach 1, which is pretty much a Shelby GT350 with a lot of upgrades and updates. But instead of having that amazing Voodoo, it's gonna have this Gen 3, which is still incredible, Gen 3 Coyote. I was like, you know, buying new versus used. And another thing that you gotta keep in mind, right now you could buy a brand new Mach 1 for under $60,000, right? Which is still a lot of money, but comparing that to $70,000 for a used Shelby GT350, a Gen 2 Voodoo, 19 or 20. Heck, even I've seen 2017s, 2018s going for high 50s. After taxes and all that, plus interest, you're paying close to $70,000 for a Gen 1 GT350. So do you want that factory warranty, knowing all the history, into buying a Mach 1? Or do you want to flip the coin and buy a used Shelby that you don't know if that car has been, has been taken to the track. You don't know if that car has been into a small wreck or something that they haven't put into a Carfax. You don't know if that car is set outside and in the Florida sun or anywhere else. You just don't know. So those are risks that I did not want to take, honestly.
The Voodoo is an amazing motor. Yes, it has its flaws, but still it's an exotic motor. Given the choice to drive on a weekend, especially on a winding road, I will select the Shelby over the Mach 1. Shelby has more personality and honestly more drama. Isn't that what we want when we're driving this type of cars? With its crazy power band where there's nothing below 4,000 RPMs and then there's a crazy rush of power all the way to red line. It's pure theatrical. But when reality strikes, one of them makes more sense for the real world. Especially considering that you could pick a brand new Mach 1 for under $60,000 with a full 5-year or 60,000 mile warranty from Ford. With a motor that will not run the risk of grenading on you, plus the same enhanced chassis, transmission, plus many updates and a brand new car warranty because it literally is a brand new car with no accident history or abuse from the previous owner. The Mach 1 was a clear choice for me. Now that you know my answer, I would like to know what would you have chosen, a used Shelby GT350 or a brand new Mustang Mach 1? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like always, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.